If those interested in the presentation could take a seat, we are going to get started.
Hi everybody. Y'all ready to get started? I know some of you are. I'm talking to those people back there. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming. This is a great turnout. My name is Rick Ilgenfritz and I work at Sound Transit. I'm responsible for planning and project development. That's kind of loud. That's kind of bright. How about this? That's better. Within my department at Sound Transit, we plan projects and we take projects through the environmental process. We also do the transit-oriented development planning, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. So I want to thank everyone again for coming. This is a terrific turnout. I want to thank this community for hosting us here. It's been a long journey for this community to work with Sound Transit to plan the light rail expansion and the station here, and to work through the nitty-gritty details of what that station could look like and how it could serve this community and the region. I think everybody here knows that we passed a ballot measure last fall to expand our light rail system. So before too much longer, folks will be able to use this station to go not just downtown, not just to UW, not just to the airport, but to every quadrant of the city of Seattle and to the entire region. The east side, Bellevue, Redmond, Issaquah, Tacoma, Federal Way, Everett, Linwood, and so on. So we really are on the path now to delivering that integrated mass transit system throughout the region. But it has been a long journey for the Roosevelt neighborhood. And we are coming up to the point now where we are about to mobilize a contractor to actually build the station. You're going to hear a little bit about that in a minute, about where we are in terms of the status of the construction project itself. And also to plan the development that will occur on the surplus property that is left over when the construction is done. You've seen on some of the boards in the back. So we're kicking off a process to engage with RNA. Jay Lazarowitz is here somewhere in the crowd. There he is. Thank you, Jay, for being part of this and for helping us kick off this process. We're going to be holding a number of workshops in coming weeks to sit down and roll up our sleeves and really start to do the work of defining community priorities for the transit-oriented development, to figure out what kind of housing the community envisions for this area, what kind of access to the site, how we want the development to interact with the built environment, and come up with a plan that will inform how Sound Transit engages with a development partner to deliver development on the site. You're going to hear a lot of talk in coming weeks and months about an RFP, a request for proposal. That's our jargon for how we sell property or lease property for development. We solicit by proposal developers to come and work with us to determine what kind of development will occur and what the terms of a transaction will be when we sell the property. So that when we sell the property to a developer or lease it, it is conditioned on the development that is going to happen once we do that. So the RFP is the tool we use to start that process and engage with a development team. That is a competitive process, it's an open competitive process, and that's one of the requirements that we live with under state and federal law. So anyway, enough about that. You're going to hear a lot more about it. Again, I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank Jay for helping us out. And I'm going to turn it back over to Marcy to take us through the agenda. Thanks.
Thank you, Rick. I'm going to take your spot on the floor here. I think it's the safest one. So we have 3 speakers tonight. Kristen Hoffman is the project manager for the Roosevelt Station and will do a brief overview of the project and status. Then Thatcher and Bowden, who's the project manager for the TOD project, will tell you more about that potential, possibility, and also the process. And then Jay Lazarowitz is going to speak about what has happened within the neighborhood about both the station and the project. I ask that you hold questions if you have them until the end, and then we will be happy to have a Q&A session so you can ask any of those of the speakers. So with that, I'm going to turn to Kristen.
Hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm just going to take you quickly through the light rail station, the design, and where we are in construction, just to ground everyone as to what the light rail project is and what the TOD project will be built next to it. So the Northgate Link extension is a 4.3-mile extension. It goes from the University of Washington station that opened this past spring, through the U District. That's an underground station. It's at 43rd and Brooklyn. First, we're here at Roosevelt. The station is at 65th and 12th. It's underground as well. And then the third station along this extension is the Northgate station, which is to the west of the Metro Park and Ride and east of I-5. The Northgate station is an elevated station here at the Maple Leaf Portal, roughly at 92nd Street. That's where the trains daylight and come out from the tunnel. The Northgate Link extension will open in 2021. All three stations open at the same time. And just briefly where we are with the Roosevelt Station construction. Actually, sorry, first I'll take you in a little bit. So here's the Roosevelt Station area. This north is up. 12th Avenue is right here. Here's 65th Street. This is the south entrance at 65th and 12th. Here's the north entrance at 67th and 12th. The yellow area, which may be a little hard to read in the setting, is the TOD land available. Here's the high school, we're right here. The station has two entrances. Both have elevators, escalators, and stairs. There's bike parking with racks at both entrances, but then we have a large bike plaza parking area, bike plaza on the north side of 66th. As far as where we are with station construction right now, the tunneling and excavation and tunneling contractor is moving off of the Roosevelt site at the end of this month. And so the station contractor is actually coming onto the site next month, and they'll start station construction. Station construction will take 2 years, so it'll take us through 2019. And then after that, we have a year of systems installation and testing, and that gets us to the opening date of 2021. This is a bird's eye perspective of the station. So again, north is up. Here's 12th Avenue, here's 65th Street. This is, you can better see here where the TOD sites are. Thatcher will go into more detail, but we have 3 future TOD sites, with this one being the largest one, and that's what the focus is for tonight. With this bird's eye view, you can see here's the entrance at 65th. The buses will be able to, the bus stop will be moved in front of the station. We have generous sidewalks along 12th, lots of planting. Here you can start to see the art plaza that's on the south side of 66 with the building blocks art. And then we have the larger plaza on the north side of 66, and this is where the bike parking is. This is a site plan. Again, north is to your right. This is 12th Avenue. Here's 65th. The blue is again the 3 future TOD sites. Here's the south entrance. With this graphic, it shows what I'd like to point out is the public versus non-public spaces. So in order to operate a light rail station, you do have to have a lot of systems rooms, support rooms. And so the orange are all what we call the back of house spaces, as well as the blue. And then it's this yellow. Here's the south entry. Here's the escalators and stairs going down. And then again, here's the public area at the north entry with the stairs and escalators. The elevator is right here at the north and right here at the south. This is a perspective. You're essentially standing at Toronado looking northwest. So here's 12th Avenue and 65th. You can see we've got a clear story that will allow ample light into the south entry. These are our vent shafts that are part of the station. And here you can see the building massing, or the building envelope for the TOD development. This is showing at 85 feet, which is the zoning for the site. This is going inside the south entrance. Here's the elevator. These are the escalators and stairs. You can begin to see the interior art that we have. And then for those of you who've been in the neighborhood for quite a while, you might remember the Standard Radio building. So we've reused the canopy. It'll be over the ticket vending machine area. We're moving up 12th Avenue. Here's 66th Street. This shows you here's the South Plaza with the art piece building blocks. Again, here's the building envelope for the TOD parcel we're going to talk about tonight. And this shows you a little bit better idea of what that North Plaza is. And here's the bike parking back in here. Again, moving further up 12th, now you're looking southwest. Here's the north entry. Again, that clear story, our vent shafts. We're adding a crosswalk at 67th, and the bike lane will remain on 12th. This is inside the north entry. Here's so you're looking south. Again, here's that art piece along 66th. Here's the stairs going down, elevators and escalators. Escalators, and here's the elevator. And again, that interior art ticket vending machine. And now we're at the platform level. It's a center platform, so trains will run on the outside. Here's the stairs coming down. Elevators are at the end, and then we have escalators as well. And here's, again, that continuation of the interior art. And with that, I'll turn it over to Thatcher to talk about TOD.
Thank you. I'm Thatcher Bowden. I'm managing our our process to figure out what we're going to do with the land next to Roosevelt Station once construction's done. It's also, we're calling it a transit-oriented development project, so we should probably talk a little bit about what is transit-oriented development, or TOD. Really, it's a familiar, it's just a new term for a very familiar concept. The Roosevelt community is a very transit-oriented community. Buildings that were built kind of around the streetcars. So these are buildings that are sometimes multi-stories, they're built up against the streets, they're really aimed for a walkable environment. So TOD is about land use, it's about land use that's near high quality, frequent transit. Often it's housing, office space, retail space, things that are very kind of conducive to walkable environments. TOD is also generally where it's easy to walk, and there's places to walk to. So we were very interested when we talk about transit-oriented development about how is the experience for the pedestrian, what is the ground floor like? Are there stores there, or are there windows that look into the buildings so that you don't feel like you're just walking along blank empty walls? Are there places to go? Are there community assets, whether they're libraries or schools or parks? Are those nearby? Are those places that you're going to be walking to? Either whether you're a resident at one of the buildings that get built in your community, or if you're visiting. And lastly, transit-oriented development has kind of expanded and grown into really making sure that when growth does happen, it's inclusive, that it's equitable. And so a lot of transit-oriented development is also talking about things like affordable housing, and jobs, and community building activities and uses. So how does Sound Transit approach transit-oriented development? Well, we do it in multiple ways. The first is when we're building new transit lines, where are we placing the stations? Where are they serving? So we will evaluate transit-oriented development opportunities and how stations can be accessed by the existing populations and the growth that's expected. Then when we start doing actual station planning, we start looking at how do we lay out the site? Are there going to be bus facilities? Are there plaza spaces? Is there going to be land that we're going to need to acquire for construction? Like in this case, it was the QFC site. And how is that site going to be reused once we're done with the property? And then once we actually get through the station planning process and the design process, we actually start constructing. And then we start realizing we actually do have a piece of property here that in the future will be available for development. And that's where the phase we are here in Roosevelt, which is there's construction, active construction, as you very well know, and it won't go on forever. And so what are we going to do with it after? And so by having the conversation today, we can start planning for tomorrow so we can get a developer lined up to construct a building. So just a few examples of times where Sound Transit has had surplus property and how we have really created assets for the community. This is down in Federal Way next to the transit center. We were able to construct 62 units for senior housing with the Korean Women's Association. At Mount Baker Station, Art Space built affordable artist loft housing with some ground level retail on surplus land. And opening very soon down at Othello Station, Mercy Housing is opening a 108-unit affordable housing project that has kind of a mixture of very low and workforce housing with family needs as well. And coming up at Capitol Hill will be one of our largest sites, or will be our largest site, where we've had opportunities for development. It's actually multiple buildings, 4 buildings that will be constructed there. And that construction is expected to start in 2018. And it includes a mix of housing, affordable housing, and market rate and public space. And to give some perspective, the first 3 projects I showed were all pretty small sites that were able to basically be one property. This last one was an opportunity where there was multiple building opportunities, and we ended up bringing one developer on board who then brought on Capitol Hill Housing to construct one of the affordable housing buildings. So we already know where we are. So we're here in Roosevelt, situated with great assets nearby between the parks, the university, Green Lake. It's going to be centrally located on our link line when it opens. And like Kristen mentioned earlier, we have ultimately 3 sites. There's the very large site, which is a former QFC, which is about 53,000 square feet. It's a little over an acre of land that sits between 12th and Roosevelt, between 66th and 67th. And that property is the focus of our conversation today because it will be available for somebody to start getting that property reused the soonest. Once the station is constructed, the building, there's additional construction activities that take place, but mostly inside the station. And so we'll have the opportunity to have the largest site have all the the additional construction operations take place on the 2 smaller sites. And so that gives us the opportunity to start construction earlier. The north side is about 6,000 square feet, so it's not very big. And the south side is the smallest at 3,500 square feet, which is smaller than a lot of the single-family house lots in the neighborhood. But those will be available in 2021 when the station opens. So in terms of what are they zoned for, I know that's a question that's come up already, is that the largest site is the one that's zoned for the most amount of building that can be built on the site. It's zoned for a building that can be up to 85 feet, which is approximately 7 stories. It can permit the most amount of intensity. The 2 smaller sites, the south one allows an 85-foot building, but it doesn't allow as much building, so it may not be that tall, but we'd expect smaller apartment buildings. So we want to talk a little bit about our process. So at a very high level, what we do is we kind of look at it and say, well, what could be built there? What could happen with this property? So we do an analysis around that, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Secondly, we kind of say, well, it could be that, but what should it be? So we really want to understand the priorities. What are the priorities of the community? What are the priorities of the city? What are the priorities Sound Transit, and we tried to figure out what it ultimately is that we're going to ask someone to come along and build for us, or build for themselves. And then lastly, we'll issue an RFP or request for proposals. We'll ask people, what are your ideas? What is it that you want to build? And then we'll evaluate how well their proposal delivers on the priorities that we've established. And hopefully through that, we will be able to get a project forward. So, what could a TUD at this property look like? Our analysis says some obvious things. There's a lot of construction going on in Roosevelt right now. There's a lot of activity. And so there's a lot of opportunity, which is great. In some communities, and especially during the recession, opportunities to have something take place is not easy. We work really hard just to get people interested in your property. But that's not the case in Roosevelt. We also know that it's a large property at 53,000 square feet, and so we can actually do a fair amount. There could be a lot of different kind of ways that a developer may approach building a building. There could be multiple buildings, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Additionally, we think that there's a good chance that there could be about anywhere from 225 units to 300 units of housing that could be constructed there. It really is dependent on things like how big are the units, are they affordable, are they market rate, and ultimately how much are they maxing out the zoning, but really it's driven by the number of bedrooms. Lastly, we know that there's a market for retail, at least there is right now, and that there's a number of different approaches that the ground level could take in terms of whether or not we would have larger retail, if it's a small retail, or community uses that get involved, or if you just put housing on some of the ground level. And so there's a lot of different options there, and again, when you have a large site, you have some flexibility. So in terms of the multiple site layouts, at a very high level, we could see potentially 2 buildings get constructed on there. It might be one party that would build 2 buildings. Maybe if there's parking, shared level of underground parking. There could be a larger building. It could be a smaller one, or it could be 2 buildings of very similar size. In general, the reason why we're not getting into too much detail there is that it's dependent on who the group is that's coming in who wants to build something to kind of determine what, how they should lay out the site that works best for them. But in general, there's multiple different approaches, and we'd expect that, and I'll talk more about this in a moment, with the process is that as a developer actually selected, they would have a concept, and as they kind of go through the design, the permitting process, there would be a design review process there as well. Additionally, the Roosevelt Station is underground, and so we wanted to make sure we understood when you have an underground station, what kind of limitations that puts on the adjacent property. And so there are some limitations in terms of, you want to make sure that an underground station doesn't, you don't do anything that would compromise that. And so there's some requirements that we have about making sure that you stay a certain distance away when you're constructing it, and things like that. But generally it doesn't have a huge negative impact from our evaluation on what you can build on the site, including underground work. And again, we think that a developer could build up to about 7 stories under the existing zone. So in terms of flexible ground use space, again with a large site, we do think that it's possible there is believed to be a market potentially for a grocery store. There's also a market for smaller retail uses, and each one of those has their pros and cons and things that take into consideration, and from loading and potentially parking and access issues and visibility. And so what we notice is that there is the potential, that is not necessarily say that there's a preference from the agency. So really the question that we're here really to start talking with you now about is what should we be trying to do with the site? Not what could, but what should we? So there's areas that we should be exploring. Those areas include the public space network. When you're experiencing it, when you're walking by, what is the ground, like the street sidewalks like? What is the space next to the buildings? Is there places for you to sit? How are you going to access the station? There's a lot of, are there going to be curb cuts? Are there, there's opportunities for additional landscaping and green spaces. So we need to look at that. Also, what is the ground level uses? Are there priorities? Does the community feel very strongly about what should be on the ground floor of that building? There's only so much as an agency we can do. We can certainly encourage it, but it's ultimately up to whoever's responding to our RFP to decide what they're going to propose. And ultimately then the market of who's actually going to pay to be there or figure out how to pay to put that there. The housing mix. You know, we need to understand more about the priorities of what it is that we're trying to achieve there. We have new state statute guidance about affordable housing, and certainly I think that the affordable housing will be a significant component of the project here. Sustainability. Sound Transit generally tries to, has a minimum expectation about how sustainable buildings are going to be. So we want to hear, how does that fit with the community's goals. Also, areas to explore about urban densities. We're trying to maximize the density. Sound Transit wants to maximize ridership, but how do we kind of balance all these different priorities together? And lastly, site accessibility. Ultimately, people have to access the building. You're trying to access a transit station. You're trying to access the high school and the business district and your homes. How do all these pieces, when you have a project that touches on 3 streets from 66th, Roosevelt Way, and 67th, at some point you have to handle things like loading. And there's a lot of opportunity. The city and the neighborhood is giving a lot of thought about what they think 66th Street's function should be, with the light rail station entrance on 67th. All these different movements happening around the site is just stuff for us to think about and make sure that we share our priorities. So, how are we going to figure that out? Well, we're starting by having this open house. We are want to have conversations with you. The board's in the back. There's a big map on the table that we want to make sure you fill out, as well as a survey. We have a survey that will be that's online starting today. As well, it's available in hard copy if you want to fill it out that way. And that just kind of helps us understand how you see the site. That information will be an input into a process, as well as submitting comments. If you send us emails or deliver to us tonight, those comments will also be considered when we're trying to identify the priorities. Additionally, there will be some workshops that are kind of diving deeper into these issues. And all the inputs that we get here are going to also be brought up and shared in those environments that we can talk in more depth about really housing mix and the public realm and ground floor uses and things like that. So again, ultimately we'll be coming up with priorities and then reviewing or issuing a request for proposals, and then we'll be going back and trying to figure out how well do we deliver on those, or how well the proposals delivering on those priorities. So in terms of schedule, we've been assessing the site. We've launched kind of our community engagement process to get inputs and try to help us nail down the priorities. And then we'll be issuing an RFP, so request for proposals in the spring. And that process, involves very publicly sharing the opportunity out there, letting people know what it is that we're looking for, and having people submit their proposals to us. We get to evaluate them. Eventually, at some point, bring an action to our board when we select a developer. So then they will go, once there's a developer on board, they will go through the design process and the permitting process, and as a part of that, there's a design review component where there's another opportunity for the community to kind of comment more about the specifics of the project. This is the city process that I'm assuming that most of you, or some of you may be aware of. And then lastly, with the opportunities I mentioned, the large site, the former QFC site, will be available in January 2020. And so the hope is that we'll be able to have a developer on board and that they'll get through their process so they can potentially start construction then, so that they open around the same time that the Roosevelt Station opens. That will hopefully minimize the kinds of impacts that the community would have in terms of construction noise and dust and things like that, as well as access to the station. So next steps, identify the community's priorities. We have to then establish the project considerations. Then we define the partner in the project, which is the RFP process. Then we go through the project. The developer will do the design, and ultimately, if everything aligns, they will build the project, it will be open, and we'll all be riding the light rail and going to this building. And then I'm going to have Jay come up and talk a little bit about the neighborhood's priorities process.
So I think I'm very excited about this part of the process. I think all of us here are, I'm sure as well, because we're all going to be riding the light rail. And I'm sure all of us are going to be using and kind of checking out the site, both during construction, actually utilizing both the services there, and hopefully taking advantage of some of the benefits that the site can provide. It's nice to know there's some important milestones now too. I hadn't realized the station construction is going to start. And obviously, in passing, and thanks to all of us, we passed the ST3 that puts some more mandates on the project in terms of community benefit and also affordable housing. That's something we've heard quite a bit. The Roosevelt Neighborhood Association put together what we call the Land Use Academy. And one of the sessions, a little over a year ago, or almost 15 months ago, was based on this site. We put together our own survey, and we found quite a few different interests, both in community benefit kind of services, types of housing, and other uses for the site. And we knew at that point it was just the beginning of the process, so part of our milestone is really engaging the public at this point. We haven't had the resources quite yet, and Sound Transit was waiting for ST3 to pass before they started their public engagement. And just over the last probably 2 months, we decided to do the public kind of outreach and engagement together, both the Neighborhood Association and Sound Transit, because we feel our principles are both aligned, and we didn't want to overtax our community, wanting everybody at the table for both processes. So I want to encourage you to get involved in filling out the survey, adding your comments to the whole process too. Back in the early 2000s, there was this community that asked for the light rail station to be at the center of the neighborhood. It was initially slated to be along I-5, and we asked for it to be at the center of the community. And then as the city developed a little bit further, the 2010 rezone, it was the neighborhood that actually upped the density in the center of the neighborhood to both 85 foot and a higher density, knowing that it was the light rail station that's really going to be provide a really important keystone to the neighborhood, and hopefully knitting all of the different kind of characterizations of the commercial area, and knitting the high school into the community, and knitting people who are coming out of the station, going into the station, and through that site is going to be very important. It's a great opportunity for both the neighborhood and the areas around it too. What we're looking for, and what we've heard thus far, I mean, we want to, what kind of commercial services will really be good to have here that would augment what's already in the neighborhood. We can't